These days, people spend the majority of their waking hours online. As a result, it can be extremely frustrating to experience slow Wi-Fi or limited data on our phones. But some people have access to lightning-fast internet every day of the year. Today, we are answering the question, what is the fastest internet in the world? Officially, this distinction belongs to NASA, which has a top speed of 91 gigabits per second. To put that in perspective, this is 13,000 times as fast as the standard household internet. For reference, there are 8 gigabits in every gigabyte. In 2014, NASA created an experiment to see how quickly they could transfer a large file between two computers. The transfer resulted in the 91 gigabits per second statistic and set the world record for the fastest internet. NASA has a number of facilities set up across the country. The test in question involves sending a file all the way from Maryland to a facility in Denver in a fraction of a second. To be fair, the normal internet speed at NASA, outside of the test, is closer to 11 gigabits per second. This is still extremely fast compared to the average household, but it is a fraction of their record-breaking speed. So NASA holds the world record, but which country has the fastest Wi-Fi? It turns out that Taiwan holds the distinction of the fastest internet in the world, with an average speed of 85.02 megabits per second. Again, this is much slower than NASA, but extremely fast compared to most countries around the world. Trailing Taiwan was Singapore in second place, with the British island of Jersey, Sweden, Denmark, Japan, Luxembourg, the Netherlands, Switzerland, and Norway rounding out the top 10. Researchers found that 18 of the 25 countries with the fastest internet speeds were in Europe, while the average internet speed in the world has increased from 9 megabits per second in 2017 to 11 megabits per second in 2019. According to the report, the Taiwanese government has invested heavily in strengthening its digital infrastructure to provide high internet speeds for its companies. The authors listed the cross-border online shopping trade as a big growth area in Taiwan and mentioned massive government measures being taken to build a digital economy that encompasses digital media and e-services. With its Great Firewall, China came in 161st place, just behind Bangladesh and one notch ahead of Nicaragua. Yemen came in last place overall, with a snail-like speed of 300 kilobits, not quite a third of a megabit, and even worse than 3G mobile internet. But because we can't all move to Taiwan, the question remains, which internet provider has the fastest speeds? It turns out Bahnhof in Sweden offers the fastest internet for its customers. The average speed is 10 gigabits per second, and they only charge the equivalent of $50 a month. Compare this to the average US speed, which is only 32 megabits per second, or the global average of 11.1 megabits per second. Things have come a long way since the days of dial-up internet, but certain parts of the world have little to no web access. If you want the fastest internet in the United States, you'll need to move to New Jersey, where they enjoy an average connection of 52 megabits per second. Although New Jersey is no Taiwan, speed tests show that its average internet speeds are faster than the rest of the United States and the rest of the world. In fact, the next state on the list, Maryland, is nearly tied with Denmark for the second fastest internet speed on Earth. Additional speedy locations on this list include Maryland, Virginia, Texas, Rhode Island, and New York. Of course, not all internet searches take place on computers these days. A majority of consumers use their mobile phones to shop and connect with their friends. People who use heavy data will be envious of South Korea, which has the fastest mobile data in the world. Not only do they have lightning-fast speeds, South Korea also has nearly ubiquitous access to 4G networks, meaning that customers are almost always connected. But the rest of the world is quickly catching up, with ever faster internet speed and access to 5G networks.